All right, so I just worked out a little while ago, so I know I'm a little gross. If I'm a little shiny, sorry. I want to make this video because it matters. I think it matters. It matters to me anyway. But before I start, a couple of disclaimers. One, this is not a video of me coming out in support of or completely against either one of the candidates, because I'm really not sure where I stand on that at the moment. And I'll get back to why. But two, I was a sailor for the better part of 10 years, so the occasional four-letter word comes out. However, I'm still going to try my best to control my language because it is possible to be right, which I ultimately believe that I am, but to be so loud that nobody can hear you. So I am cognizant of the delivery, and I'm going to do my best. But I also am passionate about this, and the more I think about it, the more angry I get. Still, I'll do the best I can. And also, I hope that you'll stick with me until the end of this video. It might be a little long, but I'm just hoping that you'll stick with me. All right, so a video came out, I think last week, of Trump and some comments that he made about women, specifically being able to do whatever you want, especially if you're famous. You can grab them by the you-know-what. There's another video that is a recording of him talking to Howard Stern, where Howard Stern talks about Trump's own daughter being a hot piece of ass. And Trump was fine with that. Okay, sure. Yeah, my daughter's hot. I think he's also on record saying that he would date his daughters. That's weird. But my problem isn't so much that as what he did in response to that video coming out and the things that he said and how he said them. And ultimately the question of, does he really believe these things now, and is that who he is? His response was to call that locker room talk. Oh, it's just the guys talking. Just guys shooting the breeze. And I got so mad when I heard him say these things, because that's not locker room talk. And that may be things that some guys say, and that may be things that some guys feel. But it's not okay. It is miles away from being okay. It simply needs to be changed. And it's about damn time that more men stand up and tell Trump that that's not okay. So, as a father to two amazing little girls, I am extremely aware, I guess, of the double standard that these little girls are growing into and that they're being held to even at this age. It's not fair. It's hard enough for them to have to be what I'll call Disney's definition of beautiful, where being beautiful means having beautiful hair or having like a beautiful dress and living in a beautiful like a castle with their Prince Charming. It's hard enough to tell them and get them to really understand that that's not beautiful. That what beauty really is it comes from here, and how they think and how they treat people. And that ultimately being successful has nothing to do with their beauty. But right now, and in this culture, they are being taught that if they're not beautiful, they'll never be anything. And that is that's almost a bad word. That's not fair, and it's wrong. And we need to stand up and say this. I'll say it again, more men need to stand up and let it be known that it's not okay. It simply is not okay. And it needs to be changed. And the way that we make these changes is that we stand up and talk about it. We acknowledge that it's there. Women exist not simply as objects of our affection and objects of our desire. Women should not be held to a standard where we view them as the first thing that we think about a woman is how she looked, what she wore, not what she did, not how she conducted herself, not how she treated people, not what kind of leader she was her dress long enough, or did she show some cleavage, or look at her ass. That's ridiculous, and it doesn't go the other way. That is a double standard that absolutely does not go the other direction. When is the last time that you heard anybody talking about that fat-ass, fugly CEO guy? Wow, look at that guy. Where a value judgment was made on his ability to be a CEO based on his looks. He must be a terrible CEO because look at him. He's a slob. But on the flip side, that happens for women. If a beautiful woman is a CEO, well, she must have slept her way there. Some man must have given her that. This isn't man bashing, and this is it's going to come across as, and a lot of people are going to twist this and say, well, you're just pandering to women, or you're just man bashing. That you just hate men, and that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The truth is that we should all be the same. Really be the same. It should be more than a discussion. It should be a reality. We are all the same. And we are all worthy of each other. And we are all worthy of our success. And it has nothing to do with genetic roll of the dice. I didn't choose to be born a white male. No woman ever chose to be born as a woman. It just is. And the sooner that we can start to judge each other and hold each other accountable for the things that we say and we do, and not the things that we can't control, like the color of our skin or our gender, the better off we'll be. We are all responsible for what we think and what we do. Period. And the last thing I'm going to say, and the last thing I'm really going to talk about, is leadership and what I think a leader is. And the biggest part of my problem right now with our current leadership, and the biggest part of my problem with the two bozos that we get to choose from right now, they spend all their time not telling me why I should vote for them, not explaining their position, but telling me why I shouldn't vote for the other one. Don't vote for him because he's a bigot. Don't vote for her because Bill Clinton he sexually assaulted a bunch of women, or Bill Clinton was an idiot, or Bill Clinton did all these things. Now, if your response, and I'll say this before I move on, if your response to Trump, the things that he said about women, is to point to somebody else and the horrible things that they did, like Bill Clinton, that's not an argument, and don't waste your time, because it's equally bad. Okay? It doesn't matter who did it. That's not the point. It's just as bad that they did it. It would be just as bad if I said that, or if I thought that, or if you thought that, as it would be for Trump or Hillary or Bill or anybody else, because we're all the same. And it's all unacceptable. But getting back to leadership, because this is an extremely important thing that our leaders have forgotten. Leaders, the best leaders give us something to follow. They are the example. The best leaders are there for us when things are the worst and the best, because they give us a beacon to follow. They give us something to live for. They don't tear us down. We need more reasons to live for each other, not more reasons to hate each other and tear each other down. We need to stop pushing the black agenda or the female agenda or the Hispanic agenda. Drop the first part of that and replace it with the human agenda. We need to take a very serious look at the way that we treat each other. And our leaders need to think very seriously about how they're choosing to lead us. It's not okay. And it truly is time for a change. But the change is really up to us. Alright, so as promised, this has been kind of a long video, but if you're with me still, and especially you men, I challenge you to share my message. Create your own. Put it out there. We need to talk. We need to stand up for each other and start to push the human agenda and just find ways to pick each other up. Not hate. And piling more hate on top of hate it just doesn't help. If your response, if you support Trump and your response is to hate Hillary, you're piling, because of stuff that she's done, you're not necessarily wrong. Or the other way around, if you support Hillary but you hate, you can't stand some of the things that Trump has said or done, and so you hate because of his hate, you're just piling hate on top of hate. And it's just time to change. And we got to do that together. I am so proud of my little girls, and to be honest, I lived through September 11th, and I saw the way that as a people we came together, and it was inspiring, because when we unite as a people, we truly are so much stronger. And it's time to do that. It's time to do that again. Stop opening that divide, and let's start to mend these issues and come together. It's time for real change, but that's up to us. And it starts with what you think, and more importantly, what you do. Thank you.